Hey guys, and welcome back. I wish you all a happy holiday season. Are you all excited for TBC as much as me? I know I cannot wait to hit the arenas and some of the Burning Crusade raids. What about you? What are you looking to do in the Outlands the most? Tell me in the comments below. You know what else I am particularly and patiently looking to do in the Burning Crusade? It's the cooking. And that's what I want to talk about it today. Did you know that approximately 30% of players ignore and neglect cooking? They either don't bother training it at all or train it and level it, but then prefer to buy the ready product than bother with ingredients and actually cooking it themselves. Now, while in current era, cooking is an essential and an important profession that offers some unique buffs, especially useful in raids, it doesn't offer nearly as much utility as benefits as it will, however, in the Burning Crusade expansion. See, in classic era, cooking feels cluttered. There's only a handful of recipes that actually offer something useful and demanded at the end game. The rest, it feels unrewarding and probably not ever used. Did you know that there are a total of 104 cooking recipes in classic era World of Warcraft? How many would you guess are actually commonly used by players? How many offer a good enough buff or benefit to warrant players cooking it, trading it, selling it, and consuming them? Well, out of 104 era WoW recipes, only 11 offer an in-demand buffs, with 3 out of 11 offering the same 12 stam buff, leaving the other 95 or 93 pretty much useless. Now, that sounds like a boring profession, huh? Well, the Burning Crusade is about to change all that, and that's about to flip cooking upside down, making it arguably the most vital profession when it comes to consumable buffs. In comparison, the Burning Crusade only adds 33 new recipes, 4 of which are the new low-level recipes, and out of the rest 29, only 3 do not offer a unique and powerful buff. Big change. But what if you're one of the 30% that neglected and ignored this delicious profession? What do? Fear not, my friends, I got you. But before we dive in, guys, if you find this at all interesting or informative, do me a huge favor, like this video and especially subscribe to the channel. At the time of me recording this, I am only 50 subscribers away from my dream becoming a reality, being a fully monetized YouTube partner, a goal that I have set out to accomplish 9 months ago. Thank you so much. So let's start from the very beginning. Feel free to skip to any chapter if you already have cooking trained to 300 or do not require information on how to get there the quickest. So to start, seek any cooking trader. Every starting zone has got one, same as every capital city. Now, cooking is best leveled together with fishing. Make sure to check out my TBC fishing guide, link is in the description. But whether you're going to be leveling fishing or not, I will use the fish as the materials you will need to level cooking to 300 the quickest way. Feel free to use any other meat or component, but the fish that I have here in the guide is usually the cheapest way to obtain all needed resources that are always in abundance on the auction house. So first step is to level it to 50. So you can learn the journeyman level. For that you will need 50 raw brilliant small fish. They are sold for about 40 copper at the time of me making this video, so you'll spend about 25 silver here. The recipe is trained or sold by every fishing trainer in every capital city. Now, once your cooking is a level 50, the same trainer will let you learn journeyman cooking, allowing your cooking skill to go all the way to 150. For this feast, we will need 50 raw long jaw mud snappers and 50 raw bristle whisker catfishes. For the price of 20 copper and 1.5 silver respectively, you're looking at less than a gold for this part. Now keep in mind, prices may vary on other servers, but should be more or less the same. The recipe is sold at most starting zones and capital city trainers. Again, you can use whatever recipe, these are just the most convenient without having to leave the same area. You can also get these recipes on the auction house for around 1 gold each, if you're too lazy or busy to get it from the vendors. Now first cook all the mud snappers, then the catfishes, and you're halfway there at skill level of 150. Now you need a cookbook. To get the cookbook, travel to Ashenvale if you're Alliance player, or to Shadowprey Village in Desolus if you're Horde. Book costs exactly 1 gold to buy from the vendor, but frankly you're better off getting it from the auction house for like 2 gold rather than traveling all across Azeroth. Now, once you're an expert cook, get 70 more raw bristle whisker catfishes and 60 raw mithril-headed trouts. The trout recipe sold in Stranglethorn Vale, Darkshore, Wetlands, Hillsbrad, Ironforge, Ashenvale, Orgrimmar, Undercity, and Shadowprey Village, or the Action House, again for around 1 gold. Obviously, cook the catfish first, then the trouts. You now should be at skill level 225, and it is time to travel. First, if you're Horde, pick up the quest to the Gadgetson you go from Zamja in Orgrimmar. Alliance, pick up the quest I Know a Guy from Daryl Ricknunson, however you say it, in Ironforge. Both quests will send you to see a goblin in Gadgetson. Now, before you go, unless you're trying to spend the least amount of gold on this as possible, buy a few things on the auction house. I mean, you can get all these on your own, but just considering gold versus time spent, it doesn't make sense to farm it yourself. Before heading out to Gadgetson, buy 12 giant eggs, 10 zesty clam meats, and 20 Altrex Swiss cheeses. Once you have the shopping list done, it's off to Gadgetson to become the new Goblin Ramsey. Once there, speak with Goblin named Dirge Quickleaf, turn in all the stuff you just bought, and you're an artisan cook. Now, to get it to 300 from 225, you will need 70 raw spotted yellowtails and 25 raw large mitefishes. The recipe for yellowtails is sold in Steamwhittle Bay in Tenaris, right there, and recipe for mitefish steak is sold in Feralis by Viviana in Feathermoon Stronghold or Shindra Tallgrass in Camp Machaja. Or you could buy both in the auction house for under 10 gold. So, all in all, if you were to buy and not farm every single ingredient, it will cost you around 20 to 25 gold in about 1 hour of your time to get cooking from 0 to 300. That is not bad at all, is it? Now, before we go off to the Burning Crusade, I want to talk about a few notable era recipes and where to get them. Now, this list will not include recipes added in later expansions, just what is currently in the era. The most common and used recipe is the plus 12 stamina and spirit ones. There are several ones that give that buff, and the only difference is the amount of health healed while eating and the ingredients needed to make it. The 4 recipes are the tender wolf steak, the monster omelette, spiced chili crab, and the spider sausage, obtainable at respective locations listed on the screen. Now, then we got the damage and the caster recipes, which is the dumplings, obtainable through a short quest chain in Silithus. Just talk to the innkeeper in Cenarian Hold and make sure it's after the Zul'Gurub phase is out. The winter squid, it's fishable in the winter time or in the Alterac Valley all year round. Yep, that's right. I bet most people didn't know that. You can fish winter squid in Alterac Valley. Doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. It is always winter in Alterac Valley. And the nightfin soup, the most MP5 food of Era, and the Dragon Breath chili. And then, of course, we have the Deviant Delight recipe, mostly available to the Horde, the Rogue's Thistle Tea, and the Captain's Ramsey Lager for fishing. Last but not least is the Kimirok Chops recipe. I think I pronounced it right. Now, Kimirok recipe is the best and most rare recipe in Classic Era, offering a whopping 25 stamina buff. The recipes bind on equip, so one can buy it on the auction house, but the number of these recipes is limited. See, to get it, you must complete most of the longest quest chain in all of WoW, the Scepter of the Shifting Sands one. You can only complete it once, and 90% of people will not, which is what makes this recipe so rare. Now, we're not going to get deep into specifics on how to get it and what quests to complete. That's probably enough content for 5 videos on its own. But while it's very rare and expensive in Era, this food will become obsolete the moment the Burning Crusade arrives, as the most common Outlands stamina food is far more superior and cheaper than Kimirok Chops. Now, there are many more cooking recipes in Classic Era, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but these are what players will use the most at the endgame. Alright, now let's go to the most exciting part of this whole video. Why should you care about cooking in the Burning Crusade? Well, in the Burning Crusade, cooking offers some of the best in slot consumable buffs that will be mandatory for raiding, as well as some other activities. It is also a great income source since cooked food will be in huge demand, while cooks will be somewhat rare. So, considering your cooking skills already at 300 once you arrive to the Outlands, seek one of these two good fellows. Each of them will have a cookbook for sale. The book will sell for 1 gold and 70 silver. The book's called the Master Cookbook, and it will allow you to train your cooking skill all the way to 375. Make sure to check out available recipes while there as well. Now, how do you know what to cook? Well, every white piece of meat that you're going to loot will have a recipe to be cooked into something delicious. Now, while not all of the food will be the most useful, you will need to level your cooking to 375 one way or another. So get cooking. Now here is a full list of the Burning Crusade recipes. Nearly everything you will need for cooking in Outlands comes from just the two sources. It's either farmed meat or farmed fish. The recipes are fairly evenly divided between these two requirements, so learning fishing is highly recommended. Now there is another notable cook in the Outlands. Her name is Naka. She resides in the Cenarian Hold in Zangar Marsh. She can also sell the Master's Cookbook, and she has some cool recipes you might want to check out. Now, once you make to the city of Shatra, there will be 5 cooking dailies available to complete. One of the main reasons to get these dailies done is that they are the sources for several cooking recipes. Depending on which reward you pick, you can choose either the barrel of fish or the crate of meat when you complete the daily quest successfully. Each will contain several Outlands era fish or meat that you can use as ingredients, but it also has a chance to drop one of these great recipes. Now, several recipes overlap, but each has one recipe that you can only acquire through that type of the reward. Now, lastly, here is the full list of the best recipes from the Outlands. If you expect for others to take your cooking seriously, you gotta collect them all. Alright guys, did I get you sold on cooking in the Burning Crusade? Did I miss anything? Did I miss any recipes? Please let me know in the comments below. And I am eager to taste y'all's cooking in the Outlands. Thanks for watching.